Manas bhai, Arsenal have a chance.
No.
निधि भाई, Arsenal have a chance.
ये हो गया ना, हाईवे है
और आपके पास मतलब आप एक डीजल कार से अपने एक्टिवा से आप कर रहे थे रेस, तो कर लिया आपने, लेकिन अभी हाईवे मिल चुका है
और
यार।
उसको और उसने पिकअप पकड़ लिया है।
तो आप कितना भी अपना एक्टिवा घूर 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 करो, वो डीजल का मतलब V4 इंजन है, वो निकल जाएगा।
That's another page to his legend.
What chance do you give us at Real Madrid?
0.0000000.
Quite low, that.
0.000.
The last time Arsenal was in UCL semi-finals, Michael Jackson was still alive. The last time Arsenal was in UCL semi-finals, Man City did not have any fans outside of Manchester. The last time Arsenal was in UCL semi-finals, Vaibhav Suryavanshi was just a glint in his father's eye. Yes, guys, Arsenal were last in the UCL semis in the 08-09 season where we were knocked out by Manchester United. And this is the third time in our UCL history that we have reached this stage and we are up against PSG, whom we already faced earlier in the season. I can forgive you for thinking कि already हम लोग ने उनको एक बार तो beat कर लिया है. Why should repeating it be any different, right? But yes, as we have seen in the quarterfinals when we did the impossible by knocking out UCL royalty Real Madrid, nothing is certain in football. So the real question is, can we overcome PSG again and book a place in the Champions League finals? For years, PSG represented a paradox in European football. A club with immense financial power, galaxy of stars, and yet there was an inability to translate that individual brilliance into consistent collective dominance on the biggest stages. When Luis Enrique took charge of PSG, he inherited more than just a squad of superstars. He inherited a club in need of an identity. Abhi wo dependence chala gaya hai on star power. Now PSG is no longer about who the biggest star is, but they have been functioning as a cohesive and synchronized unit. मैंने कहीं पे तो पढ़ा कि लुइस एनरिके का फुटबॉलिंग फिलॉसफी अलाइंस क्लोजली विद अमेरिकन हंगेरियन साइकोलॉजिस्ट मिहाली सिग्ज़ेनमिहाली का कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ फ्लो. उनका ये कहना है कि फ्लो occurs when an individual reaches a state of complete immersion in an activity where focus, skill, and challenge are in perfect balance. In this state, external distractions like pressure, fear, ego all fade away, replaced by a pure connection to the task at hand. This current team of PSG, this embodies this concept of flow. Under Luis Enrique, this team plays a fluid, high-intensity game based on collective movement, quick transitions, and intelligent pressing. This is no longer a team which earlier used to wait for individual moments of brilliance by Kylian Mbappe, ya Neymar, ya Messi, वगैरह. No. It is now a team that operates solely as an interconnected unit, where every player is both responsible and empowered. Now you would say, where was this PSG side when we beat them 2-0 earlier in the season? Well, two things have changed since the last time we played PSG. Ek, the evolution of this team. Two, the signing and arrival of Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. और क्वाराडोना लोग बोलते हैं उसको. जब किलियन एम्बापे लेफ्ट PSG to join Real Madrid, people wondered कि who will be replacing the star man. Dembele था already, Barcola था already, but there was this anticipation कि PSG will still splash some cash to bring in a star player. Star player or not, I cannot say, but what they did was they splashed 50 million euros on Desiree Doué from Rennes. The teenager was the only attacking addition in the summer transfer window. Doué made the first 4 appearances off the bench, providing an assist in his second outing, which was a 3-1 win against Lille. His first start came in the 1-1 draw against Reims in late September, where Luis Enrique initially played him as a false nine. He also started the Champions League game against Arsenal and he looked very out of sorts. And I think he was subbed off 65 minute के time पे I think he was subbed off. He only started 2 more games before mid-December, and there were reports that the player was becoming frustrated. But Salzburg against when he came off the bench to score his first goal for the club in a 3-0 Champions League win, he forced his way back into the team. And since then, he has started almost 23 to 24 games out of PSG's last 28 matches. Doué was fantastic against Villa, and he's being touted as the next Neymar, and the hype is there for a reason. See his progressive carries from both flanks and how they result in chance creations, shots, assists, or goals. It is this recent form of his which resulted in him winning the League of Player of the Month award for the month of March. And it's not just Desiree Doué, yaar. I mean, the entire squad ko hi le lo, yaar. This, like I said, the Lucho era is an evolution, and this has completely reshaped the psychological dhancha of PSG. One of the clearest signs of PSG's psychological evolution is their newfound ability to respond to adversity. Okay, in previous seasons, you could see they were encountering certain setbacks which triggered collapses, and now they respond with much more composure and tactical adaptability. उनका सिटी के अगेंस्ट का मैच का एग्जांपल ही ले लो. At their home ground, when they fell behind by 2 goals after 53 odd minutes, पुराने वाला PSG might have panicked and over-relied on their star powers and star players and over-relied on individualism and would have eventually lost their structural integrity. But instead, हुआ क्या? This team maintained its shape, gradually reasserted control, and they ended up winning the game. You can take a look at how they defeated Liverpool and how they defeated Aston Villa. Both different matchups, but you can see the improvement. And like I said, it is not just Desiree Doué. You can take a look at Joao Neves and Vitinha. Some are calling them Xavi and Iniesta 2.0. They have that old school midfield aura where they take the game by the hands. They rarely lose the ball. They dictate rhythm. From a Portugal standpoint, I think this duo will be forming the Portugal's midfield in years to come. This too alongside Bruno Fernandes. And not just the midfield, if you look at their fullbacks, Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, they probably are the best fullback pairing in Europe right now. And what makes them so special is not just their talent, but also the evolution under Luis Enrique, who has turned them into complete modern fullbacks. Defensive duties balance करते हैं, high intensity press करते हैं, advanced ball progression है. You remember how Mendes kept Mo Salah quite across both the legs in PSG's last 16 win over Liverpool? And he's also equally dangerous going forward, even scored against Villa, both legs. One thing to note is PSG is having an undefeated Ligue 1 season. That's right. They haven't lost a single match so far in Ligue 1. अपना खुद का domestic invincible season उनका चल रहा है अभी. And they have reached the final of their domestic cup competition and are also in the UCL semis. Thus, a treble is on for them. There are two things which makes me nervous. ठीक है? And we should be nervous, by the way. ठीक है? UCL semi-finals है यार, and we are here after a long time. So nervous होना बनता है. But there are two things primarily which is concerning to me and makes me slightly more nervous than the usual, which is एक है Thomas Partey का absence in the first leg. He obviously got a yellow card against Real Madrid and is now suspended for the first leg, basically. He'll be a big miss. Thomas Partey has been immense for us in this last few months, and there were reports कि कौन रहेगा, either him or Jorginho, but it appears कि Thomas Partey will be the one who will be staying with us. David Ornstein ने भी report करा था हाल ही में कि Arsenal are trying to negotiate a contract extension with him. So let's see. The second point which makes me nervous is William Saliba ka shaky form. Against Palace, he gifted Mateta a late equalizer, which ended in a 2-2 scoreline. It was a terrific finish from Mateta, no doubt about it, but it was Saliba's mistake. He dallied on the ball basically, and he played a slack pass into the middle of the pitch, which was punished. Same type का mistake उसने करा against Real Madrid in the second leg as well, where after we had taken the lead, he made an unforced error and Vinicius basically pounced on the error and scored basically. Okay, for such a classy player, one of the best centre backs in the world, he has to cut this out. He cannot be making the same mistakes, especially in crunch games. तो ये दो concerns मेरे हैं, but should we not be confident? नहीं, ऐसा बात नहीं है. लुइस एनरिके को जब पूछा गया in his post-match press conference after winning against Villa, he said कि I don't think PSG has been dominated by a team in this way. We suffered a lot every time they were sending balls into our box, and that is not our game. We are a small team. Defending corners is not our favorite aspect of the game. It wasn't a match made for us. We are not made to defend like this. And this will be like music to our ears. Mikel Arteta and our set piece coach Nicolas Huber might enjoy trying to expose this set of weaknesses which Luis Enrique mentioned in his post-match interview. What gives me confidence is PSG have already lost 4 UCL matches this season. 2 at home. एक था when they lost 1-2 to Atleti and 1-0 to Liverpool. And 2 away matches they have lost. One obviously 2-0 to Arsenal and 1-0 to Bayern. 4 games already in the Champions League. They have lost this campaign. ऐसा नहीं कि they cannot be beaten or they cannot leak in goals. ऐसा नहीं है. Even we have looked different. You can say कि Dembele नहीं था the last time PSG faced us. Kvaratskhelia नहीं था. But even we did not have Odegaard. We were playing with the 4-4-2 with Kai Havertz and Leo up top. Tabhi maybe Trossard was not in his prime form. Martinelli was not in his prime form. But things have changed in recent months, in recent weeks. Trossard is hitting form, yeah. 3 goals in 2 games. 1 against Palace and 2 against Ipswich Town. Even Martinelli is looking like he's found his form back since the end of the 22-23 season. He scored against Real Madrid in the dying minutes. Uske baad against Ipswich also he scored. Against Palace bhi usne score kara, but it was chucked off. Mikel Merino, another player, again superb against Real Madrid, both legs mein. Again superb against Ipswich Town, rested against Palace. 9 goals and assists. Ek DM yaar, ek DM playing up front for Arsenal. 9 goals and assists in his last 12 games for Arsenal. It is crazy. Also shout out to Jakub Kiwior yaar. He stepped into Big Gabby's shoes, which is something most would have thought ki impossible task tha, but he did it brilliantly and is growing into the team game by game. Uska ye goal saving lunge to deny Eddie Nketiah against Palace is the sort of defending that I love. He even scored, which suggests he from set pieces he can be a threat as well. And the form of our fullbacks, Timber and Mike Lewis-Kelly. Our backline has been a fortress basically. We have just conceded 6 to 7 odd goals in 12 Champions League matches this season. Another point which gives me slight bit of confidence is the fact that Arsenal have 2 days extra to prepare without a game. PSG played Nice on April 25th and hum log ka last game was against Palace on April 23rd. I don't believe in giving Arsenal predictions, main karta nahi hu, but predicting a UCL semi-final is always uncertain. theek hai? And having said that, the potential for Arsenal to defeat PSG again exists. Historically, if you see, Arsenal and PSG have faced each other not much times to be honest, but the last 5 encounters with them have been very positive. And bahut sare Arsenal fans were complaining that Arteta is not a tactically apt manager or he's a defensive coach. But recent games have showed that ye assessment was wrong, and we have scored 100 plus goals for the 3rd successive year, and that too with so many injuries. I think people should just stop complaining at this point of time and just get behind the team. Okay, league is done and dusted. Okay, congratulations to Liverpool. But UCL semi-finals, man, come on, man. I'm absolutely excited. I'm buzzing. I just cannot wait for this matchup, yeah. And this is what we want. This excitement of being in the latter stages of UCL. And yes, before we wrap up, we have a special guest message. Okay, here it is.
I don't like PSG. I told you before, Saudi League is better than League One. League One is finished. Al Nassr is a bigger club than PSG. I love my compatriots, Joao, Nuno, Vitinha, and Ramos would like them to do well, of course, but I don't like PSG.
Yeah, and what do you think of the Inter-Barca game?
I don't like Inter. I don't like Barcelona also. Like I said, Saudi League rocks. Saudi teams should be in Champions League. Arsenal defeated Madrid, also beat PSV, who beat Juventus. Both my former teams, and now my pick.
So there you go. Even CR7 ne bhi bol diya bhai. Milte hain soon in the watch along of the first leg. Till then, come on you Gunners.
Mikel Arteta is a great manager. I am backing him. You should too. Also like this video and follow Being Sarangi on socials.